Your dream vacation to Turkey starts from rupees 79,999 only with GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
Hello, Akshay. It's a complete pleasure to meet you.
Thank you very much.
You know, when I knew that there was an interview set up with Akshay Kumar, suddenly, for some reason, the mind went back to the days of Super Hit Muqabla. And the one thing that I remembered was there was this number one, number two struggle, rather the competition, कि वो एक लड़की को देखा तो ऐसा लगा भी नंबर वन और मोहरा का तू चीज़ बड़ी है मस्त मस्त भी number one. That was like, you know, suddenly it just occurred to me that the audience has traveled with you for a very, very long time.
Yeah, but don't you think so? There's number one, number two, number three.
But that was a program format.
I know that. I know that. No, I'm not talking about that program. That program is fine. I'm talking about songs and all is fine. But you know, when they categorize an actor in number one, number two, here number three, I feel suddenly, you know, a lot of time I feel like a Mahalakshmi ka ghoda. You know, जो रेस में दौड़ते हैं, ये नंबर वन आया, ये नंबर टू आया. See, Hindi cinema makes about 190, 200 films a year. Then we have Tamil films, Telugu films, Kannada films, so many films. सबके पास काम है. हिंदी सिनेमा में 190 फिल्में बनती है. हीरो हैं गिनती के 8 से 12. क्या लड़ेंगे, कौन सा एक नंबर वन है, नंबर टू है, सबके पास काम है. So I sometimes feel it is like that. So that was not your question, but I just suddenly number one, two के मेरे दिमाग में कुछ आने लग गया था.
पर आप सोचते हो क्या इसके बारे में? Like, does it bother you?
No. The whole idea is to just work and work. That's it.
Right.
A lot of people have problems of me. Why am I doing 4 films a year? I don't understand. I have for the first time in my life I've heard somebody saying, why are you working so much? Don't you think so? The problem is, why don't you work? Have you ever heard a question, why do you work?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I understand what, yeah.
I mean, आप इतना कितना इंटरव्यू लेते हो आप महीने में सर?
बहुत सारे
लेते हो. क्यों लेते हो? अगर आपको ये क्वेश्चन पूछा जाए,
मेरा काम है.
वो एग्जैक्टली. अगर आपको मैं क्वेश्चन करूं, यार आप इतना इंटरव्यू क्यों लेते हो? Won't you find it odd? So I do about 4 films a year, and that also people have a problem with.
तो आप पढ़ते हो everything that is written about you?
No, पढ़ता मतलब वो अपने आप आ जाता है. You know, it comes on your feed. It comes on, you come to know about it, and that is it.
Right. So how does Akshay Kumar process the stuff that is written about him?
Process is, being in the industry for so long, you become thick-skinned.
Okay.
There's hardly any difference between you and a rhinoceros. So it's you're very thick-skinned. That's it. And nothing affects everybody. But it is most welcoming when somebody talks and somebody valuable in a critic talks about it and says something. I value it. I take it. Being in the industry, you have come to know who is a good critic, who is a wrong critic, bad critic. You come to know. You and I also know there are things you can buy it out. People buy it out. Stars, you can buy it out. So you come to know what it is. But good critics, when I read it, I really take it. Okay, the person says this, must be something. Sometimes there are, like I'll tell you, if a Dhoni or a Saurav Ganguly don't win matches, so the commentator, the critics are a Sunil Gavaskar talking about, a Ravi Shastri speaking about, जिन्होंने जिंदगी में खुद भी किया है कुछ. Then there are Farooq Engineer, there are other people who have sports critics, they have been through ages and ages, जिनकी वैल्यू है. यहाँ तो कोई भी उठ के आ जाता है यार. एक कोई आदमी आ जाएगा, वो बोलेगा मैं क्रिटिक हूँ. एनी पब्लिकेशन विल, अरे क्या कर रहा है, एक काम कर, आज पिक्चर देख के आ, जरा कुछ लिखना है इसके बारे में. So they just, it has become a chaotic thing. What do you think about it?
No, I completely agree with you because in my early days, आजकल वीडियो में इंटरव्यू करता हूँ, पहले मैं प्रिंट में था, तो उस ज़माने में I used to find it very odd कि like अगर कोई Nobel Prize winning physics person comes to town, they'll send a person who knows science or knows that field ki like
He
chalo,
knows it. He
knows
has
ki
a value when he
हाँ.
says it.
लेकिन अगर पिक्चर को रिव्यू करना है तो what they'll say is like who's free today. So I would be very puzzled ki like no this is why this is also a specialty, a specialization.
You have to know about it.
हाँ.
You have to really know about it to talk about it.
हाँ.
यहाँ कॉलेज से कोई एक स्टूडेंट निकलता है, बेटा तू जाके फिल्में देख और रिव्यू कर.
हाँ.
उसको अगर पूछो बेटा ये लेंस कौन से लेंस है, उसको नहीं पता. बट ठीक है, अभी है वैसा.
हाँ.
बट नाउ द ऑडियंस हैव बिकम वेरी स्मार्ट.
Right.
They know what is right and what is wrong. I have seen movies which have been panned by a lot of critics and which has done great business. Because audience thinks with their own mind.
Right. We'll talk about Sarfira, which is your new
Yeah,
movie. But before that, I wanted to ask, what is your perception of cinema? When you came in, did you look at it as a job? We started talking about it, ki kaam. Did you look at it as a job? Or did you
Yes.
look at it as an art form?
No, I looked at it as a job.
Right.
When I came in the industry, I looked at it as a place where I can go and earn money.
Okay.
To be honest, I came here in the industry to earn money. Because my background is, we came from a very small, not a big, rich family or something. My father he was an army man. And so I came into it. When about 7-8 years later, I started enjoying it. It started giving me, I was doing a lot of, all the films I used to do was all action films.
Yeah.
Then it started hurting me that nobody used to give me any work beside action. Then I overheard a director saying, अरे ये फिल्म में ना एक्शन है तो अक्षय को लेते हैं, ये फिल्म में ना ड्रामा है तो उसको नहीं लेते. So I started thinking that this is not the right thing. And then by that time I had started enjoying it. Then I jumped into comedy, then I jumped into drama, then I jumped into many social films, and I changed my life. Today, nothing is about money. Everything is about what I can do and try and give to my society. Try and make sensible cinemas. Not all. I want to do a houseful. I want to do a Hera Fairy. But at the same time, 80% films I want to do is which I can send a message across, like Sarfira. That's a one story which really came up in my head. What a man! The man has gone through so much in his life to come up. Here I mean, say there was another guy I just met. You will not believe it. That man, story I heard, I got bored. He used to sell sugarcane juice in Shirdi temple के बाहर. Sugarcane juice निकालता. You understand?
हाँ.
वो आदमी पढ़ लिख के काम कर करके today he makes arms and ammunitions for our country and he sells it abroad also.
Wow.
Sugarcane juice, brother. Sugarcane juice. And that man built it with his own mind and old will.
From gunna to guns.
Same thing about this also. What a story.
Yeah.
He was just a farmer, mere farmer. So I salute these people for making things like so wonderful and coming up and thinking about it that we want to make it in life. And ऐसे कितने सारे लोग हैं हमारे देश में, कितने सारे जो स्टार्टअप कंपनी शुरू करते हैं और कोशिश कर रहे हैं. But hats off to our country for producing such good people.
Right, and you did Padman also. That was
I
also a
did
similar
Padman
story
also.
of
I did Airlift.
Airlift.
I did Rustam.
Right.
And Toilet.
Yeah.
They're all real stories.
Yeah. One of the things that your director Sudha Kongara told me was that you identified a lot with your character Veer in this movie because you both come from humble, modest backgrounds and made something of yourself, and you still are very grounded and humble. Akshay, how easy it is when you have a lot of fame, a lot of followers, a lot of adulation, a lot of money, how easy it is to still, or how do you manage to stay grounded and not let that noise affect you?
My experience and what I have learned from other actors' experiences. Success is a biggest cheater.
Okay.
It cheats you all the time. Today is there, it'll cheat you and go to someone else. Don't be too sure about it. This is what I have learned. The best part of life, my own career have gone, lot of time I've given continuously 16 to 18 hits, then continuously I've given 10 to 12 flops. So I don't take it seriously. This much I knew it from the beginning of my career.
Right from your...
Right from the beginning. That this is not yours. It is a crown which will keep on running to everybody. आज तेरे पास है, अगले फ्राइडे किसी और के पास होगी, कहीं और चली जाएगी.
It could even be a munjia.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything. It doesn't matter. This success is an amazing thing. Don't take it seriously. It will run. And it's a very slippery thing. Best part is you have not made success yourself. What made is this is what I believe. I'm not saying it is what I believe success is. What you have made in your life is 70% luck and 30% hard work. There are many people who may not agree with what I say. But whatever I have experienced, I have seen worst films becoming super hits, best films becoming flop. I'm sure you must have criticized some film और वो पिक्चर चली होगी. आपने नहीं किया होगा क्रिटिसाइज, आपने बोला होगा ये कमाल है, वो फिल्म फ्लॉप हो गई होगी. It has happened to your life, right? So that means there is something called luck, which is there and which plays its own game. 70% I think it plays that, and 30% is your hard work.
So there are two types of success. आप एक success के बारे में बात कर रहे हो कि every Friday the crown goes to somebody else. मतलब that particular film may become a success or not, but the overall fact that Akshay Kumar is a successful man, that doesn't change because that has been built over 30 plus years. That doesn't change. That's what I'm talking about.
That it doesn't matter to me. Honestly. I have never let anything enter my head.
Right.
I don't know whether it is because I have seen many people fall down. I have seen many stories. I have seen things which has happened. My father-in-law has taught me so much because he had seen the biggest success in life and then he saw the complete drop. I have heard stories. So what I do is I try to take knowledge from other people's thing, and then I realize these things are just to be kept a one-hand distance away and just be away from them. And don't take it seriously. I just work. My job is to just keep on working. And that's all. So I don't take anything in my head, and I've kept myself completely under the ground, not even on the ground.
So when a film like Sarfira comes to you, because you said you started looking at it as a job and then slowly you started saying...
It's my passion.
It's my passion, right? So now you're doing drama, you're doing comedy, romance, whatever, all kind of things. Everything. So whenever you've acted with certain directors that are, for the lack of a better word, let's say unique, Special Chabbis, let's say, Baby, let's say, Sarfira, there are these films where there's an Akshay that's a little, how do I put this, who seems to be giving me more than the Akshay that I sometimes see on screen. Do you believe that a director is also responsible
Very much.
for shaping a performance?
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
A director is responsible. He's the captain of the ship. Sometimes it can be a Titanic also. It is very much important that who is the captain.
Right.
He's going to lead the whole thing. I'll be doing another film also, but he will be with that film throughout.
Right.
So yes, the director makes a lot of difference. The producer makes a lot of difference.
Right.
The technicians makes a lot of difference. It cannot be one person's job.
Can you tell me about the first day of shoot on Sarfira?
Can I tell you about the first day of shoot? Well, the first day, it always takes time
Right.
for an actor to blend with the director.
हाँ वो सिंक होना
वो सिंक होना थोड़ा टाइम लगता है क्योंकि उसका तरीका मेरे को समझना पड़ेगा, उनको कम समझना पड़ेगा. Sudha has to learn less, but I have to understand what she is and how she operates and all. And it took a little time when Sarfira, maybe about 5-6 days to understand, and then after that it was very smooth sailing.
राइट. तो मतलब आप एग्जांपल दे सकते हो कि लाइक आई वाज डूइंग दिस पर उसने कहा ये लाइक देन आई अंडरस्टूड कि दिस इज हर तरीका, वो जैसा कुछ स्पेसिफिकली आप बता सकते हो?
So Sudha is a director जो कैमरा को फिक्स करती है और एक्टर को बोलती है अभी तुमको ऐसा करना है, यहाँ से वहाँ जाना है, वहाँ से यहाँ जाना है, और तब तक मेरा कैमरा इधर आएगा. एंड देर आर मेनी डायरेक्टर्स हु सेज तू बता तू कहाँ जाएगा तो मैं कैमरा को लेके आऊँगी. सुधा एज ए डायरेक्टर मैं बताऊंगी कैमरा कहाँ जाएगा, तेरे को वहीं आना पड़ेगा. Are you understanding?
Yeah.
That is how Sudha works. There are different directors. There are directors who come and say कि enact the scene. Okay. You want to sit down on when this line comes. Okay. You want to stand up. ठीक है. Enact the whole scene. All the actors. After that, the lighting will start and the camera will be placed. But Sudha is just the opposite. So that was one thing which I was trying. Like Priyadarshan, when I work with him, he lets you fly. Then he will catch you. He is a different. Shankar sir, I worked with him. He is very particular. Okay, this is this, this is this, this is this. I want this expression, don't vary it from it. This. What is written is what I want. So that is there. Then Rajkumar Santoshi allows you to burst.
Right.
Just allows you to burst, whatever it is. Neeraj Pandey, every time his actors, what he will do is he'll read his script, he'll cut his own. एक line होगा उसको भी आधा कर देंगे. His always thing is, why to talk so much? Little is enough. He wants more. If the line was 5 lines, he will make it into 3, and the rest 2 lines you have to emote it without saying it. That's another way of looking at it.
Right.
So they all come with different things, and I consider myself lucky that I got this part. I got this thing that I could work with all these different people, and I enjoy working. You will not believe it. I have worked with the maximum new directors in anybody's career. Say if you take my career, I have worked with 26 or 27 new directors.
Wow.
And 90% of them are hit.
Right. To get into Sarfira, now the natural thing for an actor, the freeing thing for an actor would be you do your thing and my camera will capture you, will be the freest, the most free thing you can do. Now, Sudha, this has this process. So was it a little restricting for you initially? No. You adapted.
You adapted. You adapted. You have to get into it. You have to understand what the person wants.
Right.
You cannot change her. You can make a little bit of 5-10% changes here and there, but you can't change her completely.
Right.
And I respect that. I respect Sudha, the way she has taken it and the way she's gone with it.
Right.
And already she's lived the film earlier. And this was a different living with somebody else.
Yeah.
Like having a married life with one husband, and now she's having another life with another husband.
Yeah.
I'm not literally.
Yeah. But did you see Surarai Portrait?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay. Because some people, they don't see because they say, okay, that could enter my head and affect my...
Yes,
तो
yes.
इसलिए पूछ रहा था.
नहीं मैंने देखा. मैंने एक बार देखा था. वो भी उस वक्त देखा था when we were thinking of making the film. फिर उसके बाद मैंने कभी नहीं देखा. उसके बाद I didn't want to remember it. I just wanted to go.
So what did you think
And that is what I liked about Sudha. She allowed me to enact the scene.
Right.
The way, not what Surya did. She let me do what I can do.
Right. So, and also I think she was telling me that she changed the flavor of quite a few scenes, because she felt that it felt a little better or whatever it is. I know Sudha hates the term woman director, but for the lack of a better word, Tanuja Chandra with Sangharsh and Sudha with Sarfira, I think these are the only two female directors you've worked with, or are there more?
Farah Khan.
Farah Khan, Tismar Khan. How could I forget? Yes.
Yeah. Then one more film I did, that is the only film in my life which is incomplete. Which is actually complete and not released.
Oh.
Do you know, I have, in my life, whatever film I started shooting, they've all seen the light of release. That is the only film which is never, that was directed by a woman called Shabnam Kapoor.
Okay. What is the name of the film?
It was that time called Purab Ki Laila, Paschim Ka Chela.
This is with Sridevi.
No.
Okay.
Sridevi was Meri Biwi Ka Jawab.
हाँ मेरी बीवी का जवाब हाँ.
So this is Purab Ki Laila, Paschim Ka Chela. That film is all ready,
Wow.
but never seen the light of
Yeah. That also takes me back to the days when films used to have these kinds of titles, na?
Yeah.
Roop Ki
I
Rani,
like
Choron
this.
Ka Raja.
I like the title,
Yeah.
Purab Ki Laila, Paschim Ka
Yeah,
Chela.
yeah. Do you have expectations about films? Why I'm asking is, you mentioned Farah Khan, Tismar Khan. That is a film that did not do as well as expected. Do you have the same expectation of all your films, or do you feel some films, oh, this should work, but this did not work? ऐसा कुछ है क्या?
है,
हाँ.
होता है. Everybody has in their career, even in my career, I've expected a lot of films which should work, it didn't work. A lot of films which I saw, I knew it is not going to work and it worked.
Right.
I
But
don't
that's
know.
the good thing.
I don't know what
Haan.
it is.
Haan.
I still cannot figure out. I don't think so anybody can figure out what is the success formula.
Right.
I don't know. Is it because it is the audience's mood, what they want? I still can't figure out what it is.
Right.
What is the success thing?
Right. So when you pick, how do you pick a film then? Because part
It
of
should give you a bell. It should just make you feel that there is something to offer. It should, how I select is, I have never tried something like this.
Right.
So all these things, combine things. If it is a great social message also, I like doing social films.
Right.
I started doing it after I started producing films on my own.
Right.
In my production, Cape of Good Films. So then I produced about 30 to 40 films by now.
Right.
And all this Toilet, Ek Prem Katha, Rustam, and all, a lot of films I have produced myself.
Right. Is there any film in your career which you'd say was the toughest to do?
Toughest, honestly, I don't know whether you've seen that film or not. The toughest was Garam Masala.
I've seen it. Yeah.
I used to pant while doing, because Priyan sir used to take long shots. It was more like a play. And though it was I'm dating 4 women at one time, and they're all in that house only, it used to be so much. I found that one of the most difficult films to do.
Right. But because of the long takes.
The saying, and every time, I don't know how I'll make you understand, is there is an expression change in each and every sentence. Because you're in front of this girl and you're saying this, and suddenly she turns back, and then you look at another girl, then with her you have to be a different character because she expects something else from me. And then she goes, and then Paresh Rawal comes, then there is a different thing. उनके साथ जो मेरे बातचीत है वो अलग है. So he used to take this all in one shot. There are many shots which are like 10 minutes, 8 minutes, it is going on at one go. I would find doing action more easier or dance more easier than these kind of things. Because this is real concentration, it is physical as well as mental.
Yeah. In Sarfira, what was the toughest thing to crack? Was there a scene? Was there a psychological thing that you had to learn about this person? What was the toughest part of this?
So there are many things in the film which I could relate myself also. this character lost his father. The kind of thing, what trauma he went through. So, to be honest, yes, when that happened, when that scene was happening, I went into that kind of trauma when I lost my father. And I don't use glycerin to cry. I use my own emotions to cry. So whatever, if you're going to see when you see in the film, is I'm really crying because I've gone into the same mood of what in my real life was. So there used to be time when Sudha used to say cut, and my head was still down because I'm still crying. Because it is not easy to come out of that emotion.
Right.
And I've gone far away and I've not realized much that I know back of my mind it cut ho gaya hai,
Huh.
but that thing is very difficult to bring it back.
Yeah.
I used to request her that if you can take a longer shot because then it is the same emotion because cut and now the camera changes here, you have gone away from that emotion and you have to get back again.
Right.
It becomes very difficult. So I used to request, and she was very kind enough to put 3 to 4 cameras to capture emotion, because emotions are one thing which you need to capture at one time.
Right.
Because once you start flowing, comedy is still fine. Even in action also. If the actor can do action and kick and this and punch and jump, if you can take it in by 4 cameras, it is better.
Because
This
you
is
can
what-
do it all.
Do you know what happened? मैंने अभी kick wick mara this thing and my body is warm. And now you put the camera the other side, it takes about 20 minutes, your body has cooled down.
Yeah.
Now to warm up again your legs, you need to start going again. It's a very
That's a very
lot,
interesting.
lot of people, lot of actors get hurt because of cooling down and warm ups.
Right.
Not many actors, like very few actors, like I have seen Tiger Shroff doing it.
Right.
Before action, any action shot, he gets into warm ups.
Right.
1 or 2 guys who is stretching him up, this thing completely, he has to get into it. It's a lot of hard work. Then cut shot. Then you have then the camera goes to the other side. Then you have again lot of time. So we don't sit on the chair only.
Right.
We have to keep on running around. Can you imagine 8 hours just running around, not to let your body cool down? You are very tired.
Right.
So the same thing goes in emotional scenes also. It is better to any director should put about 2-3 cameras and try to take the emotion in one go.
Right.
Whatever you can capture. Because
Right.
it becomes very difficult to get into it again.
Right. So, Akshay, which was the first film in your career? Of course, all your action films had emotional moments, mother ke saath, romantic scenes honge, what's up. But, like, which was the first actual movie where you had to depend a lot on emotions, or the dramatic side of Akshay Kumar was revealed?
Elan.
Elan.
Elan, directed by a new director called Guddu Danoa.
Right.
He directed it. Amrish Puri, Madhu,
Huh.
Farida Jalal. So that was the film.
Right. So, usme, at that time when you were doing emotional scenes, was this the same process that you followed then, or this process
From
evolved?
there, I started learning more about this. See, I've never come from a place where I say कि I came from an acting school. I didn't go to any acting school. I didn't do it. Whatever today I have learned is slowly, experience-wise, looking at people, listening to directors. I've done that. A lot, by the way, I've learned from South directors. Priyadarshan, Shankar Sir, Prabhu Deva. I've worked with many South directors, even now Sudha. This process, I slowly learned it. To get into it by adapting from your own life's experience and getting into the film.
Right. Of course, you've done, all kinds of films. But is there any kind of film that you say, this is my comfort zone? Do you say, Like, is comedy a comfort zone? I mean, is there one that...
Because I've done a lot of comedy film and action film, that doesn't mean that is my comfort zone. These are very hard things. People, unfortunately, especially in my industry and even in Hollywood also, they don't consider comedy as a great genre. They look at it as, he's done comedy, this film cannot get an award.
Yeah, there's not much respect for the genre.
I completely differ with that. It's not right, because comedy, it's one of the most difficult genre to make anybody laugh. I salute people who stand on stage and do stand-up comedies.
Right.
They are brilliant. They are brilliant, and what they give to another human by making them laugh, I don't think anybody has. I think I would say, if I can make anybody laugh and do comedy film, I consider myself very lucky to do that. But unfortunately, it has never been. I've never seen any award night giving best actor award to any comedy film.
Right.
Best film also. Never.
Right.
I wonder why. What do they think about comedy? Do they really think comedy is so low that people should not get an award considered to? Is it everything about making other cry and then you make, अरे क्या intense acting किया है?
Yeah.
क्या हंसाया ये कोई बोलता ही नहीं है.
Yeah.
ऐसा क्यों लगता है आपको?
पता नहीं, because even in Hollywood, like जैसे आपने बताया कि for some reason this person lost weight, this person did all this, इतना सब कुछ किया, तो they feel that उसको जो मेहनत है कॉमेडी के पीछे वो दिखाई नहीं देती. They don't see that. हाँ.
अरे लेकिन उसकी आंखों में क्या इंटेंसिटी थी, उसने क्या काम किया.
और वो डायलॉग बाजी भी है ना, तो वो थंडर लाइटनिंग वो सब उसके साथ, it just makes...
One day you should do a program on this.
Yeah.
कि why comedy is not being given the status what it should get.
Yeah. Can I tell you what my favorite comedy of yours is?
Yes, please.
It's not a comedy film at all, but I love the way you handle the role in Khaki.
Khaki, okay.
Because it's a very thin line. Because of course, what happens to you was a huge shock when I first saw the film.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And of course, जिसने आपको वो किया, that was even more shocking. कि like, because first we've seen Dil Duba, this, that and all that, and then finally we're coming... Vada Raha. That's a lovely song, by the way.
Yeah.
I miss songs, you know. It's like...
आप जानते हैं वो फिल्म, पहले वो जो रोल लिखा था, वो परेश रावल का रोल था.
कौन सा रोल?
जो मैंने किया. पहले वो, हाँ, ऐश्वर्या भी नहीं थी उसमें.
Oh.
पहले वो रोल जो था, ऐसे ऐसे चलते चलते जो आँख था, वो परेश रावल के लिए था.
So the second cop.
मेरा जो
आपका जो हाँ,
वो पहले परेश रावल का रोल था.
Wow. So there was Amitabh Bachchan, Tushar and
Paresh Rawal and everything. And then when he thought, then let me put this angle of Aishwarya Rai and let me ask Akshay if he'll do it.
Right.
That you will die in the interval के थोड़ा आगे, you will die. So when he approached me and he told me about it, I said, Raji, I would love to do it. अरे बट लेकिन अक्षय तू मर जाएगा उसमें. बोले कोई बात नहीं, that is fine.
Right.
But the film you're making is brilliant.
It's a brilliant film.
Yeah. He made it a brilliant
It's a great film. It's like, even today when I watch it, it's like, of course, you know, that's when you know a movie stands, because you know कि ये मरने वाला है, ये this thing, all that, you know everything, but the film still holds your attention. So that, I think that's one of your big
that was
iconic
I learned
films.
a lot from Santoshi Saab.
Yeah. So that comedy is actually it's a very nice line, because उसमें drama भी है, but your character is a light-hearted character, and I just love the way
And corrupt.
And corrupt. Yeah. So that was
insensitive, corrupt.
Yeah.
And cares a shit about anybody.
Yeah.
Wants to run away. He's a coward also.
Right.
He wants to run away when anything goes wrong.
Hola! Your dream vacation to Turkey starts from rupees 79,999 only with GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.